right, my name is Donato. I'm one of 25 appraisers at Ada County, and we have four commercial appraisers. I'll go over the residential side and the multifamily residential. All right, I'll just start with the market trends from our analyst. Median home prices as of January 2025 reached 535,000, up from 523 at the same time last year. Existing home sales market was the main driver, with their median price increasing 4.3% versus new construction increasing just 0.5%. Number of sales increased 11.2%. This was led by the new construction sector, with builders shifting towards high demand entry to mid-level homes between $425,000 to $550,000 price range. $425,000 now being the entry level, I guess. It's not like the olden days. Developers seem to be selling new properties at a higher rate, unwilling to sit on large unsold inventory due to volatile and uncertain economic times.
How does the higher rate trigger faster sales?
So they're putting more houses on the market, and their actual prices are not as high as existing inventory. So yeah, existing inventory prices, the market for the existing went up 4.3. New construction only went up 0.5. Yeah. So they're selling more houses. Right.
All right.
This has led a reduction in the price gap between the two sectors to just about $30,000. Back at the peak in May 2022, we had a new construction price of $639,000 and existing was $586,000. These are what you can expect of the assessments for this year. We're looking at a assessment hike of about 5 to 6%. We're going to be using 0.35% per month time adjustment on all those sales that occurred in 2024. These are pretty similar to last year. The sales and trends that we saw in 2023 going into 2024 appraisal year, and we're just slow and steady. Nothing crazy like it was in 2022 or 2023. So. As always, I have to have the disclaimer up there because I get a lot of calls during the summer of people saying, well, my average is higher or lower than what you guys stated. So I keep that up there to let people know we're just looking at average, 5-6% average, even though we may have something that goes up 10 or 15% in certain areas or certain subdivisions. New for this year is the House Bill 304 and House Bill 479. They are looking to extend the benefits of House Bill 292 that came in 2023. This new bill splits $100 million between the school district facility fund and the tax relief fund. And hopefully it continues that benefits that we had in 2023 and 2024. The tax relief portion is reserved for owner-occupied residential properties only, not for rentals. And in order to qualify, homeowners have to have their homestead exemption filed by the second Monday in July. The portion, the $50 million that is with the school district facility fund, is for all households in the state. So you don't have to file homeowner exemption or be a owner-occupied property. One of the questions that I got in the last 6 months, actually I've had a lot of phone calls from homeowners about their mortgage payments going up, their tax bill actually going up, and looking at their tax bills as I was going through the numbers, I noticed that the HB, I got the thing right here. I don't know why I keep turning back. So I noticed that there was about a 40% reduction in that tax credit benefit between 2023 and 2024. Originally, when the HB 292 came out in 2023, however, they divvy that up. It's it's a some complicated method to do. As a matter of fact, the Idaho State Tax Commission even took off the tax calculator that they have on their website, since all those calculations are done at the end of the year, right before the tax bills come out. And because of that 40% reduction, even though assessments didn't go up as much last year, their tax bill, everybody's tax bill increased, including people that had money in escrow, so their mortgage payment went up. We're switching to multifamily new construction. In 2024, we occupied 18 duplexes and 8 fourplexes, total of 26 buildings or 68 units. This is about 50% less than it was the year prior. Under construction, we have 58 duplexes and 2 triplexes in various stages as of last month. For residential multifamily, you're going to see those assessment trend upward, similar to the single families. That number you're going to see should be around the 8% on average overall, with those variations between certain subdivisions or certain areas. You might see higher or lower averages. The time adjustment that we're going to be using at the office for those sales is 0.52% per month. And the data set that we're using is exactly like it was last year, 130 sales, including the fourth quarter of the year prior and the first quarter of this year, up to, well, mid-March. So we're missing a few sales in the first quarter. When we're looking at first quarter sales, we technically can't use those sales after January 1st, based on state statutes, but we look at those sales to make sure that we're following a trend. So there's a little bit of wiggle room in our assessments. If we're seeing the trend continuing up, we can be a little bit more aggressive. If we're seeing that trend in the first quarter, pull back, be more reserved, we have the ability of pulling back those assessments to make sure that we're not over that 100% for the following year. So we have to be within a certain percentage, and we don't want to be too far out or too far in for the following year. Those 130 sales represent just 3% of the total multifamily parcels. So we have a little over 5,000 parcels. We don't get very many sales, and you can imagine how hard it is to assess so many properties on just 3% of the sales. Median rents year over year have remained the same, and projected rents based on those same listings have increased 2.8%. There was a question last year at the Swope meeting in regards to rents, and what we're doing is we're looking at sales that are between 6 months and 18 months old. So we're looking at data that is relatively old compared to what anybody else is looking at when the assessments come out. So when those rentals go for sale, we're looking at that information on those rentals, and that's where we have our rent information. Unfortunately, we don't send out any up-to-date information right before the assessments go out. We look at those sales, we look at the rents that are listed on there, and we run with those numbers. I believe Ron does send out some surveys, but I'm sure you'll go through that. These are the numbers that we're looking at, that all the residential appraisers will be trending to this year. The main two, Boise and Meridian. You can see up there, Boise duplexes, medium time adjusted. So this is with that time adjustment that we talked about earlier, $595. Median rents, $2,500. And the sales from last year didn't have I don't want to say very good quality rents, but we have some pretty high GRMs on some of those. They're all over the place. So most of our values trending comes from sales comparison, and then we use rents as a backup. Ron does the opposite, obviously commercial. They look at rents. They use rents first. We're looking at sales comparison and then use rents as a backup. Triplexes, 720,000, rents 3,900, with that median GRM of 167. Fourplexes, $895, rents $46.65 with a median GRM of $199. And those are just the average sales. They might include properties that are 1970s or brand new built. So once the appraisers start modifying their own areas, they'll dig deeper into each category and look for those sales that match the properties that they have. On the Meridian side, duplexes, 582, median actual rents with 2,225, GRMs 211. Those medians actually pretty good, given the range are kind of wild, some of those. Triplexes for Meridian, 680, with rents at 4168, median GRM of 163, and Meridian fourplexes, 977, median actual rents 5658, and median GRMs of 177. Cuna Eagle only had one duplex and one fourplex sale each. For those towns, including Star and Garden City, we will trend with similar trending for Boise and Meridian, unless the sales that we see in those areas are way off out of left field. As I speak here, assessments trending is still in progress. As of this week, the appraisers have just on Tuesday completed the single-family residential portion, and we're moving into the multifamily portion. So we have 25 appraisers. Each appraiser has their own area of jurisdiction. Each appraiser modifies their area corresponding to their sales, and that includes multifamily. So whatever sales they see in their area, they modify according to those sales. Mail out date for those assessments, it's usually Memorial Day weekend. And the appeal deadline, it's always the fourth Monday in June, this year, June 23rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. All right.
Well,
Yep.
what's the percentage of success that people have in the field typically?
So that number is usually, it's been going down the last few years. I should have those numbers off the top of my head. We usually get, it's not very high. It's in the single digits. You may have more success going to the BTA, which is the next step after the BOE. The BOE is when you go in front of the commissioners. It's just very quick, very down and dirty. There's not much time to get all the information out. So on average, the commissioners tend to side with us and send the homeowners to BTA. At the BTA is where you can bring all the information. You can have hours to discuss it with the appraiser, get all the information out there. And I don't want to say it's more successful, but the amount of appeals that go there, and they tend to be a little bit more successful than the BOE, just because of the time and the information that is available.
What do those initials stand for?
What's that?
What do those initials stand for?
BOE is Board of Equalization, and BTA is Board of Tax Appeals.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then after BTA is District Court, and after that, it goes on higher than that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? All right. I guess I could go over Ron's stuff. He's not here yet. He has an appointment. All right. I should have read his stuff. All right. We'll just go through it real quick. He'll owe me later. This year, new construction, 24 multifamily projects completed in 2024, 2,058 units completed total. Last year, we had 19 completed projects totaling 1,068. So as a matter of fact, he doubled while the residential side went down 50%. So he's taking all our sales, all the new construction. And it's not hard to see. You just drive around and it's all apartments everywhere. 27 multifamily projects permitted and under construction, with 3,316 units, down about 60% from 5,563.
Does that mean that last year there were 5,500 new apartments that came on?
Yeah.
And now there's another 3,300?
Yep.
So in 2 years, there's almost 9,000 new apartments.
Yeah, I think last year he mentioned there was something about 17,000 in the pipeline, 16 or 17,000 in the pipeline in the next few years. Yeah, so there's quite a few. Yeah.
That has to be impacting the number of vacancies, so it has to be.
Yeah,
I mean, I imagine that's the case.
yeah, the
Right.
supply's catching up with the demand.
Yeah,
For
and it
sure.
seems like they're all getting occupied pretty quickly.
Yeah, we are seeing a decline. A lot of people that, and I don't know if this is like job specific, a lot of employers are demanding people come back into the office. And so we have a lot of people that chose to come to Idaho or wherever, where it was cheaper to live, and now they're having to move back to where their job is. So we've seen that trend lately. Or a newer home that is built for two couples living together that can afford it, rather than a 2-bedroom, 2-bath that you can't afford on your own. So they would leave a standard 2-bedroom, 1-bath to go where it's works for them, where it's two couples or larger families moving in together.
Is there a way to break this down into like between duplex, fourplex and giant apartments?
So Ron just does apartment units, which are 5 units or above.
So this is only.
This is only 5 units and above, right? Yeah, the multifamily residential is fourplexes, triplexes, and duplexes. And there was nothing there, just the 68 units overall for last year, right? The apartments have taken all the,
So do we have an idea of how many there are total? So I can get perspective on this much of an increase.
total in the pipeline.
No,
Oh,
how
well-
many exist out there?
Like between
You got
yours.
5,000 more, is that 5% more, is that 0.01?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but the next slide here.
Wow.
So, yeah, there you go. So another 20, almost 30,000 units in the pipeline.
But how much of that is Micron coming online?
That's a good question. Yeah.
The Meta too, in Tuna, is that going now?
As in, temporary?
No, like,
Oh, the
but it
actual,
will drive, I mean, that will bring hundreds of people to the
Yeah.
valley for those jobs, so, yeah.
When I listen to podcasts, what they say is, last year and this year, a lot are coming on. A lot of these they've slowed down. The forecasted ones aren't really developing as quickly as was expected. Are you seeing that?
so as a matter of fact, we have, the Simonich property, if you guys are going down, it's right off of, is it Vista? To right of Vista, right? Right, so they've had that in the pipeline now for the last 4 years, I wanna say, if not more. And we keep getting calls and they keep revamping it, and they're saying they're getting permits. And it's supposed to be partially residential, partially commercial. And again, I don't know exactly how many units are in there. It's pretty big, but it's most likely in one of these 30,000 numbers here.
I work with that family,
Oh, okay.
and one of the developers just walked away. They lost a lot of earnest money, not earnest money, and walked away.
Just because how long it's taken for the, yeah. We get calls every year, and they call me and they call Ron, and they're wanting, I don't know if it is, I don't want to speculate. They're always wanting to know how much the taxes are going to be on this amount of residential, this amount of commercial. And I mean, it's been going on for a long time. So I guess it might take even longer now. So
On like 27, down by 27, down by St. Luke's Hospital, between Fairview and, there's a big giant chunk where they have streets, and they've been developing down there fairly close to the road. Wasn't that supposed to be all apartments, and now it just seems to have stopped? I don't know, maybe that's part of this trend.
it could be. I mean, the thing is, he does go out pretty far. And a lot of these that get turned into, I've had some from Ron that have been permitted as apartments and then turned into residential condos. So you could have those situations where he has a 150 apartment, complex that gets turned into 150 condos. And it goes from this commercial rental units to being individually sold. To be honest with you, I'm not sure how he manages those numbers in here. If if they're, in that 30,000 unit number, but yeah, I'm sure he has those in the back of his head. I just deal with residential and then I just hear Ron complaining far away from my desk about all the numbers. He's super busy. I mean, you guys saw it. There's apartments everywhere and it's just him and the hybrid residential person that helps him out. So he's one of the busiest guys at the office.
But that first line says proposed to approve without permits, so. Like tariffs could be affecting this. People are looking at, well, I'm gonna spend 10% more just in steel.
Right.
I mean, if it's not permitted, then this is kind of speculative.
It is, yeah, yeah. But I mean, when you're looking at 5,000 last year and 3,000 this year, even if that trend continues, I mean, it doesn't take very long to get to those 30,000. And every year you get new ones, Well, he says it right there. Many projects never get started or get converted to residential. Literally just talked about that, yeah. Let's see, multifamily sales, approximately 16 sales occurred in 2024, increased of 60% compared to 2023. The average unit count was 32, median unit count was 16. Cap rates are flat in 2025, 5.3 to 6 in most cases. Cap, not sure what it means by that. Commercial land, this year, as a matter of fact, for reappraisal, it was, I think he has it in here. Yeah. We'll get there, okay. Yeah, he says it right here. Okay, this year they reappraised just land. That happens every 5 years. Unlike residential where we do land every single year, commercial does it every 5 years and then trends it in between. Land values have no effect on improved parcels because they use the income approach. Residential side, we go with the comparable sales and then use the income approach to back our values. Vacancy remains low. Market vacancy will be about 5% for 2025. Operating expenses are increasing. NOIs are mostly flat due to increased rents and expenses. These are the numbers for this is the people. These are influx of books coming in this year. 2023. Okay, it doesn't have 2024, 2025. So you can see it's slowly going down, but 5,000 people is still a lot of people, and I'm guessing a lot of those folks have to go and rent, and we don't have that many residential homes being built. So 2024 census 535,799, 11,000 increase. So it is going back up from 2023. Residential permits and lots. Permits increased 18% to 4,165 from 3,626. Currently, we have 4,277 recorded lots, an additional 33,203 lots in process. Again, I don't know how far out it goes. It seems like quite a bit. So I don't know where they're fitting 33,000 lots, but lots in process are up 11% over 2023. Values on the 5 to 20 unit properties will see small increases. I talked to him. It's about the same that you would imagine on the residential multifamilies. The 20 plus unit properties will see a small decrease. Assessments are based on a pro forma as of January 1st, not your contract rents. If you feel like your assessment is higher than what you could sell the property on the market for, give them a call. 3 years of operating statements and the January 1st rent roll. Sales comparison appraisal, BPOs, and the fourth Monday in June again is that deadline to file for the appeal. That is what I have for him. All right. I thought he was going to be here a little bit earlier, but I guess not.
Thanks. Will you stay
Yeah.
up here with me
Yeah.
and we'll do the recap? Lucky you.
Yeah.
Can you see both of us? You can. Oops, there we go. All right, thank you, Donato, for stepping in.
Yeah.
For Ron, we appreciate that. So recap. Basically, things are slow and steady, increases, what is this? Increases the new name of the game. Okay. So slow and steady is the new name of the game. So it was fast and furious a few years ago, and we're slowing down, but we continue to trend upwards. So with that, we're seeing small increases in the assessments of the values in commercial properties and in residentials, 1 to 4 units. There's an increase of 5 to 6%. Cap rates and NOIs are flat. So any rent increases are being balanced out by an increase in expenses. We have a fairly low vacancy rate at about 5%. We haven't experienced as many new units as we had feared. As you saw, there were a lot more in the pipeline. Boise's population continues to grow, slow and steady. And most importantly, if you have questions about your assessments, the agents at Swope are happy to help you look at that and make a presentation to Ada County or Canyon County to make sure that they are appropriate.
The appeal has to be filed by the homeowner.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we can help
You can
you,
have a proxy at the appeal.
and we can help you gather data and just get everything rounded up. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, the more data you have, if you call in, and even if it doesn't go to an appeal, if you call in and you have that data that shows that value to be too high, every appraiser will work with you. It's not a value set in stone. We have, some of us have 9,500 properties, 10,000 properties, and so we can't look at all of them every year. We trend them, the values end up where it ends up, and it's good to have those that information if you do call in, and it helps out.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions? Awesome. Well, thank you so much.